there? What? No, what? Please.
The symbiote slowly merged into the man's body, right through his chest. When all the vital signs showed normal, Drake flashed a satisfied grin. But then the man started convulsing violently, his whole body thrashing out of control. Screaming in agony as he collapsed to the ground. Clearly the symbiote couldn't adapt to this host, slamming against the glass in pure rage. Even though so many people had died from these experiments, this mad scientist Drake still refused to stop. He was absolutely convinced he could find a human compatible with the alien lifeform and use it to conquer the entire planet. Watching these inhuman experiments spiral completely out of control, Dr. Dora finally couldn't take it anymore. That night she secretly reached out to reporter Eddie, hoping he could expose the company's crimes. But the moment Eddie heard it involved local billionaire Drake, he immediately refused. Not long ago, Eddie had gone off script during an interview, and Drake got him fired out of pure spite. His girlfriend got caught in the crossfire, and had to break up with him. So unless he had absolutely no other choice, Eddie wanted nothing to do with this mess. But when he finally worked up the courage to win back his ex, he found out she already had a new boyfriend, and moved on with her life. Thinking about how Drake cost him everything, his job and his relationship, Eddie made up his mind. 3 days later, he pulled out Dr. Dora's business card, and agreed to help gather evidence to make Drake pay for what he did. Using the doctor's credentials as cover, they quickly made it inside the facility. On the way, Eddie finally learned the truth. A spacecraft on an exploration mission had recently crashed. While cleaning up the wreckage, the company discovered alien lifeforms inside, and secretly transported them to headquarters for research. They found out these slimy creatures seemed to have minds of their own, and needed to bond with a breathing host to survive on Earth. To unlock the symbiote's full potential, Drake started recruiting homeless people for his brutal experiments. But if their bodies couldn't perfectly merge with the symbiote, they would die instantly. All Eddie had to do was capture the evidence and expose the company to the media. Not only would he get justice for the victims, he could finally take down Drake. To buy him some time, the doctor quietly sealed the lab doors, then walked over to distract the security guards. Eddie slipped into the creepy laboratory alone, snapping photos with his phone as evidence. But just as he was about to leave, a woman suddenly banged on the glass begging for help. He walked closer, and realized it was a homeless woman he actually knew. Watching her desperately cry for help, Eddie frantically punched random codes into the lock, but he accidentally triggered the alarm instead. The woman couldn't handle the noise, screaming in pain. With no other choice, Eddie grabbed a fire extinguisher and smashed through the glass to save her. Until that black slimy mass completely merged into his body. Only then did she collapse, as if her life had been drained away. With security closing in, Eddie had no time to think, and sprinted toward the exit. But even he didn't realize that after being infected by the black symbiote, his body could unleash terrifying power. He easily dodged the guards, and kicked open a heavy metal door with one blow. Once he spotted the exit, Eddie burst out of the facility. He tried to get up and keep running, but his body moved on its own, and suddenly vanished. The guards searched everywhere, but couldn't find him. Somehow Eddie had ended up in a tree, barely escaping with his life. Back home, he was hit with an overwhelming wave of hunger, almost impossible to control. He tore open the fridge, and started devouring everything in sight. Even the chicken he threw out 3 days ago wasn't safe. He ate every last bit of it, but after finishing, his stomach turned violently, and he ran to the toilet to throw it all up. Clearly the alien inside him had a serious rejection to cooked food. Eddie couldn't understand what was happening to his body. He was about to rinse his mouth. When he finally woke up, he looked at the evidence he fought so hard to get, and decided to team up with his ex to report the company. However, as soon as they met, the symbiote within them once again sent out a signal of hunger.
This is dead. Dead.
Eddie searched the table desperately for food, but nothing satisfied him. His body felt like it was burning up, so he stripped off his clothes, climbed into the fish tank, and started devouring a live lobster. His ex had no choice but to ask her doctor boyfriend to take Eddie to the hospital. They wanted to run an MRI to figure out what was wrong with him, but when the machine powered on...
Hey, what's happening in there? Shut it down.
The doctor quickly shut it down and checked on him. Once he confirmed Eddie was stable, he suggested they go home and wait for the results. The moment Eddie got back, his annoying neighbor started blasting music again. Before he would just bury his head in a pillow and deal with it. But this time he felt an uncontrollable rage, with nowhere to let it out.
Hey, can you turn the music down, please? Because I'm having a really hard time.
Whatever. Sure, man. I'll just turn right down.
Meanwhile, the company traced the leak back to Dr. Dora. She was the one who let Eddie in and allowed him to escape with the symbiote. When Drake found out, he executed her on the spot without hesitation. Then he ordered his men to eliminate Eddie at all costs to keep the plan from being exposed.
Tap that subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.